I sure hope we look back on this time a few years from now and just wonder how the heck we ever got here. But because of the quarantine, many of us are finding ourselves for the first time ever leading our teams from a remote position. There are some really great tips on how to do it. And I've been getting a few of those types of questions from other professionals. So this is a special shout out to Susan Busack, who asked me, Shawn, how in the heck do we manage remote teams now? Stay tuned, and I'm going to tell you my top tips for how to successfully manage a remote team and inspire them to still be their best, even though we're not meeting face-to-face anymore. Hi, my name is Shawn Sommerkamp, and this is Motivationeer Christian Coaching. I post 2 videos a week, so please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can be reminded when I do. Please also consider becoming a member at Motivationeer.com. Your membership really supports this channel. Thank you. Many years ago, I used to live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin when I worked for Manpower Professional. And during those 3 years I was there, Brett Favre was king of the NFL. I think he was MVP 3 years in a row. And 2 of those 3 years, I think the Packers won the Super Bowl. But I watched this one interview where they asked him, whoever it was interviewing him, said, what was it in your mind that made you so successful over the course of your career? And this is still when he was kind of at the height of his career. Very surprisingly, he said, I was always available. This always stuck with me. I have gone back many times trying to find this interview and just can't find a record of it, but I did watch it live as it was happening, so I remember very clearly. He was trying to get across the point that whether things are very high or very low when you're playing in the NFL, because you'll have both, your teammates are always going to want to be able to reach you. Even though you've had the worst game of your career, it's always best to be available for your team. And what made him successful is having a great team. And that's how we're successful in our remote roles as leaders, is by having and developing, nurturing a great team. So the first tip is always be available. Because you're remote, the temptations to not always respond to those emails as quickly, not answer the phone as much, not respond to the texts or instant messages or the Microsoft Teams alerts and announcements and all of that. We always want to be available. We don't know what they're going through. And as leaders, it doesn't ultimately matter what we're going through. We put them first, not us. This is the basic foundational servant leader mindset. This is what Jesus taught us as he was washing the disciples' feet, to put other people first, not for us to be first. So whatever mood you're in, whatever recent lashing you got from your boss, whatever poor performance just happened, always be available for your team. And perhaps the next and probably most important tip, we want to be like Christ. Yes, he was always available, but what I'm talking about is the idea of loving our people that report to us with all of our heart. Sometimes we're going to have employees that we don't really click with. It's still important for us to communicate to them like we do to those that we do click with. They're really the same. We don't want to show favoritism. We want to just show lots of love to them. That means when you do reach out to them, which I recommend you do that often, ask them how they're doing. Not, hey, how you're performing in your job, but hey, overall, how you doing? How's it been going for you and your family? Small talk isn't for everybody. It is a great way to manage remote teams and keep them engaged because they know you care. They're not going to say, oh, Shawn loves me or my boss loves me, but that's really what you're doing. And when people know that you care, know that you love, they will be very loyal to you. They will work very hard for you, even though they're remote. And this is kind of new to them. And then lastly, if you're not always already doing this, even if you're not remote, this doesn't really change the fact that you want to be meeting with them once a month. Meet with your employees once a month. And when you do, don't just discuss how they're doing in their job. Are they meeting their goals? You want to help them be the best version of themselves possible, to dream big about life in general, about a career future, maybe even if it's somewhere outside of your company. I know that's blasphemous for some larger companies. So when we meet with them one-on-one, and we do that once a month, the conversation needs to go kind of deeper into them as people, not them as instruments to help you and the team excel in your role. That's kind of not the purpose of it. Even though we're remote, even though we're doing lots of camera time, lots of texting, and we're not flying to see our employees or driving to the office, it's still possible to have a high-performing team managing them remotely. I hope these tips have helped. If they have, or if you have a great one of your own, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for 2 new videos each week. Tell me in the comments below about your career situation, and I'll make a video for you with a shout out. You can also become a member at Motivationeer.com. Your career is not just a way to make a living, it's a way to transform the world.